Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So breaking news, it's now official. Novak Djokovic has had his passport cancelled for a second time. The immigration minister, Alex Hawke, took a few days to decide whether he was going to do it or not. So yesterday, the Australian Open draw was announced where Novak Djokovic would be playing a fellow Serbian in the first round. But now after this announcement that his visa's been cancelled for a second time, that could put his whole Open in doubt and his ability to play in the Australian Open and even stay in the country. Novak Djokovic's lawyers are still going to fight this. They're looking for an injunction, but as of right now, his visa has been cancelled for a second time. Now, as I said before in my previous videos, what they could do now is they could kick him out of the country for up to 3 years and ban him from coming back for up to 3 years, or because there was incorrect information filled out on his declaration application form to come into Australia. That also comes, as I previously said in another video, with a maximum prison sentence of 12 months. Now, I don't think they'll go that far, but let's take a look at what just happened. So on 9 News, Novak Djokovic has visa cancelled just days before Australian Open. Novak Djokovic's visa has been cancelled in the public interest just days before the Australian Open is set to begin. Immigration Minister Alex Hawke announced his decision just before 6 p.m. on Friday. Now here's the statement. Alex Hawke, MP, Minister for Immigration and Citizenship, 14th of January 2022. Today I exercise my power under Section 133C of the Immigration Act to cancel the visa held by Mr. Novak Djokovic on health and good order grounds, on the basis that it was in the public interest to do so. This decision followed orders by the Federal Circuit and Family Court on 10th of January 2022, quashing a prior cancellation decision on procedural fairness grounds. In making this decision, I carefully considered information provided to me by the Department of Home Affairs, the Australian Border Force, and Mr. Djokovic. Now, a statement is yet to be made by Djokovic or his lawyers, with the tennis star having the ability to appeal the cancellation again. So they've already gone through one appeal and they technically won in that one, but there was a concession at the end by the government to say, all right, we'll concede and we won't pursue this, but we still have other powers which they have just implemented right now. It is possible Djokovic will not be able to return to Australia for 3 years following the decision, as Judge Kelly confirmed in court on Monday, when the possibility of the minister cancelling Djokovic's visa was raised that such a ban could occur. However, the Australian government could use its discretion to not apply that ban to the tennis star. So they'll just kick him out of the country but not ban him, I guess, until he's vaccinated. Maybe. Djokovic was included in the Australian Open draw yesterday after no decision to allow or cancel his visa was made on Thursday. So what happened was, this happened yesterday. Breaking, Australian Open draw cancelled until further notice. So they delayed the Australian Open draw because they were waiting for the Prime Minister to make his press conference. But when at his press conference, he said, I'm not going to be addressing the Novak Djokovic issue. And they're like, oh, well, okay, we'll put the draw back on. Because they thought he was going to announce that the immigration minister was going to kick him out. But he's waited an extra day to do that. The world has been waiting to hear if the minister would use his powers to cancel Djokovic's visa after an initial cancellation of the men's world #1 visa was overturned in court on Monday. Djokovic was detained by the Australian Border Force on his arrival in Melbourne last week on the grounds that he did not qualify for a medical exemption from a vaccine. And there's just a timeline of what happened. You can check that all out in my previous videos. I'll link them up here. Now, he did get called out by a lot of people. There was independent Tasmanian Senator Jackie Lambie this morning. She wanted an end to it and say, hey, just make your decision. Please stop dragging this out for days on end with people not knowing what's going on. So all the trending hashtags were like Djokovic out, Novak out, and all this anti-Novak Djokovic stuff, which a lot of people have been saying over here for a few days now. Well, this past week and a bit since he's come to Australia. This happened just a few hours after it came out that Novak Djokovic actually has a diplomatic passport. So he had a diplomatic passport from when he came from another tour back in 2011, Davis Cup Championship team in 2011, which he got a diplomatic passport, and then the government said this isn't going to help him not get kicked out. And then a couple hours later, they cancelled his visa. Now this final part is from The Australian. Djokovic's lawyers are expected to file an injunction against his deportation, which could be dragged into next week if the federal court does not sit today. They're even talking about sitting today again in the federal court. However, it is Friday and it's after 6 o'clock, so that is very doubtful. That would leave open the possibility of his case being heard in the midst of the Australian Open, but he would be unlikely to play if he is sent back to a detention centre because they've cancelled his visa now. So what are they going to do? Are they going to send him back to a detention hotel now? That means he can't be out free and training or anything, interacting with anyone. So that's where we're at right now. Novak Djokovic's visa has been cancelled a second time by the Australian government, the immigration minister, Alex Hawke. It's still to be determined if they're going to take him back to that same detention hotel where they kept him for those few days after he first arrived to Australia. But we will see what happens in the next few hours. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share this video out there, and I'll see you in the next one.